How's it going, guys? My name is Lost, and welcome to another Kingdom Hearts Union Cross video. So, it is July 6, 2018 over there in Japan, so we got our weekly update this Thursday morning, and alongside that, we did get some things added to the game last night as well. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Real quick, yesterday we did get a small little event update, but I feel like this is more catered towards free-to-play players who do not buy VIP, who have access to HDLs anytime that they want. For free-to-play players, they do have to wait until the specific day to be able to get that certain experience medal. But basically with this small event right here, you do get 10 event quests and your reward is HDLs, not specifically the HDL medal, but Huey, Dewey, and Louie medals as your reward. I don't believe there's any jewels in this event, so somebody can let me know in the comment section below, so that way I can make sure to pin it. And but that's about it. That was a tiny little event. Again, I feel like this was more towards the free-to-play players. One thing that we got last night though was prod quests. We got 25 more prod quests, guys. So of course we do get some free jewels out of it for every 5 quests that we do, and as well we do get 1 moon gem, sun gem, power gem, speed gem, and magic gem, and 45 mirrors. Right now we are up to 775 prod quests. That's a lot of prod quests to do, especially for a brand new JP player who decides that, like, hey, I want to join the JP side of Union Cross, and I have all of this stuff that you got to do, so that's a lot of catching up to do. I think I have about like maybe 50 plus that I need to take care of, so that's a lot of free jewels for me, just sitting there waiting for me to grab them alongside with the gems and whatnot. So yeah, 25 prod quest was added last night, and the big thing about the update that we got this morning was a new banner. So this medal right here, which is a Kingdom Hearts 2, or the Prime Kingdom Hearts 2 Riku and Mickey. Basically with this medal right here, I honestly thought at first when I saw the tweet this morning that this was going to be our Prime Woody, our 7-star Prime Woody that Global got, because right now Global is getting the whole Toy Story collaboration thing where they got Prime Woody, Prime Buzz Lightyear, and they also got a free medal out of it for the free-to-play players, which the medal is not, it's alright. You know, I can't say that it's like bad or anything, but I mean, for any free-to-play player, it's something, you know. So it's a free medal, and the fact that it actually given a free medal just like this late in the game, you know, I can't complain. It's a free medal. I mean, who wouldn't want a free medal? So yeah, so with this medal right here, the Prime KH2 Riku and Mickey, again, I thought it was going to be a Woody, but there's actually some differences between this medal and Prime Woody, and I'm going to be answering a couple of messages and tweets that I got this morning as to whether or not you guys should pull. But of course, it's your jewels. You do whatever it is that you want with them. I'm just giving you my perspective on it. So Prime KH2 Riku and Mickey is a tier 4. Actually, let me move this over here. Is a tier 4 upright speed, 4 gauges, multiplier. As a 6-star, it ranges between 6.16 to 10.72. 7 stars is an 18.03 to a 22.58. It's an AoE medal, which I like. Debuffs the enemies upright defense by 3 tiers for 2 turns. Raises general attack by 2 tiers for 2 turns. Debuffs the enemy's general defense by 4 tiers for 2 turns. Buffs speed attack by 4 tiers for 2 turns. Debuffs the enemy's speed defense by 3 tiers for 2 turns. And raises the Guild of All medals by 40% unless it's a 7-star, then it'll be raised up to 60%. And damage scales higher with the higher HP. So as long as your HP is 4, you're going to get that high multiplier of either 10.72 or the 22.58 as a 7-star medal. One thing to note is that the 7-star medal buffs upright attack by 3 tiers for 2 turns, and again raises the guild to 60% instead of this 40% that the 6-star medal would actually do. And alongside with this banner, you do also have a chance of pulling, even though it's a very low chance, it's like a 1% chance of pulling a Kingdom Hearts 2 Kairi EX Kai. Now in my pull video, I really wasn't going to, I wasn't aiming to try to get another copy of her, but in a way this is kind of like for players who are needing a good buffing and a decent damage dealer in their setups, who did not have the chance on pulling for Kingdom Hearts 2 Kairi EX Kai. Now the big differences between this medal and the Prime Woody is the fact that the Prime Woody does 4 hits, right? This is the 7-star version of it. So it does also give, this is similarities right here, the upright strength by 3, speed strength by 4, defense and upright defense down and speed defense down by 4, special attack bonus plus 60, more damage with one enemy left, included raid bosses. The multiplier for this medal is a 13.88. Once it's max gilded and everything, it ranges between 27.38 to the 40.25. It is also AoE as well. Now, the big difference between this medal and the Prime Riku and Mickey is the fact that Prime Riku and Mickey, it raises your general strength by 7, so it maxes it out instantly. So in a way, this is kind of like the next step up of stained glass medals, is the way that I see it, because stained glass medals, they raise the general strength by 7, and either if you had like the reverse one or the upright one, they would do the upright or the reverse by 7 as well, and lower the general defense alongside with, you know, whatever attribute defense down that it does as well by 4. So this is in a way kind of like the upgraded version of the stained glass medals, and there might be a possibility where they might release the power and the magic version of the second version of what I think is the second version of the stained glass medals. Now, this is kind of like a continuation of how they started out with Prime Axel, then they went with KH17, and now they have this one, even though they kind of skipped this medal specifically because they decided to release Kairi and GEN EX Kai. So I feel like this is like the final part to that trio, to Prime Axel, KH17, Prime KH17, and now the Prime Riku and Mickey. So there might be a possibility, or JP might take it might go a different route, or they might stick to the same route. They either might continue this whole Prime Medal thing, where they might release like the magic version and the power version, but of like the different not the different attribute, but like say for Prime Axel, instead of a reverse, we might see a power. For KH17, instead of an upright, we might see a reverse, and then for the speed one, we might see a reverse one of that too. I feel like they might continue to do that to try to get us to pull on these battles, to get us to think like, oh hey, we need these medals, we need you to pull in like right now. But the thing is though, if you already have Kairi EX Kai or GEN EX Kai, especially if you do have Kairi EX Kai, this medal right here, unless you want to have an extra medal that that deals some pretty decent damage, I would say that this banner right here can be an easy skip, because if you have a Kairi, Kairi does everything. Kairi pretty much has everything that you need for it to do, and this medal right here is if you do decide that you wanted to pull for it, or if you wanted to get like one copy of it and then 7-star it in the future. This medal right here is more of just a damage dealer, and that's about it. Now if you don't have Kairi, if you still have illustrated Kairi EX, which is the tier 6, no excuse me, the tier 7 buffer of Kairi or GEN, I would say yes, this medal could help you out because of all of the debuffs and the buffs that it gives to you, especially if you do pull multiple times and you do get extra attack. So in my opinion, if you do have Kairi EX, I would say this is an easy skip. If you don't, I would say at least get 1 or 2, so that way you know you can get those extra buffs and debuffs. But compared to Prime Woody, it's, in my opinion, it's about on par. And I really don't see the Toy Story medals coming to JP unless all of a sudden we see like on Twitter, on Reddit, or just like any social media saying that, oh hey, Japan is celebrating you know, the release of a Toy Story movie over in Japan, and because of that we're gonna release the Prime Woody, Buzz Lightyear, and the other medal, which I forgot the name completely, to the JP version of Union Cross. Then, you know, it would be a little weird, because technically unless they buff up those medals, it would be a little too late, because we already have this medal, or Kairi, or GEN, you know, depending on your setups and how you do it. So again, if you have Kairi, I would say, you know, if you wanted to have one for a percentage medal for the high school challenge that might be coming up in like maybe say 2 or 3 weeks, I would say, you know, just do one pull. and just save the rest of your jewels. But I mean, if you don't have Kairi and you need a good medal that'll buff up yourself and debuff the enemies at the same time, I would say grab yourself 1 or 2, you know, guilt it, save up those blue tier 4 fairy medals so that way you can upgrade it to a 7-star medal, so you can put this medal in your sub slot, and also take advantage of those extra buffs that it does give you, which is the upright and the guild percentage as well. So that's my thoughts on this medal right here. Me personally, like I said earlier in this video, I only pulled because I needed a stronger speed AoE medal. I'm not going to be treating this as a buffer because I already have Kairi, so I didn't really have to pull for this medal. But the two main reasons, because I needed another damage dealer that was speed, and because I wanted that percentage medal for the high score challenge whenever it does decide to come. So that's my thoughts on this medal. Again, I mean, I don't want to repeat myself. That's pretty much it. That's my thoughts on specifically this prime medal right here. And finally, like I said, they might continue this trend where they might, you know, they might release like the opposite version, which would be like the reverse speed or the upright power, etc, etc. But anyways, guys, that's about it. I don't want to rant anymore, repeat myself. As always, if you found this informative, hit that like button. It really helps the channel out, and subscribe. And as always, guys, I will see y'all in my next video.